Yeah, what?
Hello. Sorry to bother you. We've just come round to tell you all about our podcast. Have you got a couple of minutes?
Not really.
Well, it'll only take a second. It won't take any time at all. I promise. Now, do you have any podcasts you already listen to, or are you open to being told about a new podcast?
I don't think I've got time in my life for another podcast.
Well, I'll tell you about this one anyway. It is a podcast that has things we've listened to, things we've played, things we've watched. It's got 2 queer trans ladies. It's got skits and silly voices.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Does any of that sound up your alley?
Yeah, right up my alley, actually.
Well, in that case, I'm glad to introduce you to the Queer and Pleasant Strangers Party.
Greetings, strangers, queer and pleasant. I'm not Laura Kate Dale.
And I'm not Jane Aerith Magnet. And welcome to another episode of Queer and Pleasant Strangers, that podcast where 2 queer trans ladies have a bit of a catch-up about our weeks.
We do that.
Do silly skits and voices. How are you doing this week?
I'm full of pie and mash.
We ate a lot of mash and pie. We had our first Frey Bentos pie.
We did.
Which, somehow we've made it this long living in the UK and not consumed one.
Well, I don't think they'd ever appealed to me before, and then there was a vegan one. I was like, I might give it a try, and then we saw Nick having one. When we went to
I
visit
feel
Becky.
like they're a northern thing.
I don't know, maybe.
They're that, or like, I don't know, I weirdly associate them with like conservative men's clubs, and I don't know why I feel like conservative men would eat Frey Bentos pies.
I don't know. But
I don't know.
There's a vegan one now. It was delicious.
It was delicious.
And I think
what was
Becky
the filling?
probably would have described it as fucking ruined.
Yeah, because we dared to let it get slightly crispy on the top.
A little bit crispy on top.
But still kind of softish.
Yeah, it was a little softness. I enjoyed it.
What sort of filling did we have? I don't remember.
It was like a vegetable curry.
It was
thing.
like a balti or something, was it?
Like that.
Yeah. A vegetable curry. It was lovely. Mixed all the filling in with my mash. It was great.
A little bit of peas.
Oh, a little bit of peas.
Put a little bit of garlic in the mash.
Yeah, had a bit of sweet chili and ketchup mixed together as a sauce. It was lovely. So, shall we get on with our first segment of the show?
You mean it's not what pies have we eaten?
Yeah, this is our before played. We're now going to have what pies we've eaten. New pie every week. No, this is what we've played. The segment we tend to start the show with, where we talk about what we've been playing. What games have you played this week?
I've really only played one game that isn't Magic the Gathering Arena, which I'm still sort of hate playing at this point.
Hate playing?
Yes, I'm not good at it. I can get decks from online, all I like really good ones, but it's like, yeah, everyone's like, yeah, you can go like 7-0 on standard event with this. Yeah, it's really easy. You just do the thing, and I'm like, I have this deck. I understand how this deck works. I'm doing the thing the deck wants me to do, but apparently I'm being basically told to fuck off. Okay then.
Oh, trading card games. Yeah, we did play a little bit more unsanctioned this week as well.
Unsanctioned.
That red half a deck doesn't function how a red half a deck usually would.
It feels like very much. It has the same sort of emotion and anger that red has, but with much bigger creatures.
Yeah, it mechanically feels like the sort of growth. The fast growth of weak creatures into strong creatures that you get out of a green deck?
Yeah, like green, or green-blue, even.
Like, it's got almost like the creature pacing of like those hydras.
Yes.
In that suddenly something can become a threat very quick. But here it's like, here's a creature that when you roll a dice from 1 to 6, it'll have that much toughness and power, and supplemented with a bunch of things that let you re-roll the dice until you get the good things. So you get like, hey, here's 2 mana for a 6/6 potentially creature. And there's that infinite attack creature in that one.
Yep, there's the infinite power creature.
Woo! Yeah.
And then there's me, who's desperately trying to make Golgari work, and the 3 main black creatures in that deck are a fucking nightmare, because you need at least like 10 mana to get them out.
Yeah, like, I feel like the red and the black might work really nicely as a combo, because you'd have the red for early creatures and then the black for your end game.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, the black just... It needed something with a much quicker opening game to really work, I think.
I was so frustrated that even though we managed to hit Booster Tutor twice, I still have not got round to sorting out the cards that we opened from the Booster Tutor.
Oh, no. I'm sorry that it frustrated you that bad.
It's fine.
Oh, goodness.
And then we played some normal tabletop Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
And I lost very badly at that as well.
And
then I played some Magic Arena, and I lost a lot of that as well.
Oh no, I'm very sorry.
But as I was saying, the thing I played apart from that, I
Yes.
started playing Divinity Original Sin 2
Yes, you
Definitive
did.
Edition.
You've been playing that very D&D-ish video game.
It's not how I imagine D&D, but sure.
Okay,
It feels very Baldur's Gate.
It's very older editions of D&D in its play style. But yeah, how are you getting on with it?
It's very pretty. I wish like Q and E would do like world spinny,
Okay.
but they don't.
No. Is there
You
any
have
way
to
to,
do
like, set that?
Maybe. I haven't really fucked about with it. For every time I play, I'm like, I don't like pressing the middle mouse button on this because it's pressing the scroll wheel and it just feels awkward.
Yeah.
Do not like.
Yeah.
It's just like, and I just keep going to do like Q and E to spin the world around, and it's like, I'm just going to open your inventory or your character, whatever it is. It's like, no, I need, no, not that.
No.
Please, no.
Please no.
Yeah, so that's been a thing. I like the fact that you can just sort of hold like left alt and then click on the thing that as it pops up because it will show you all of the things that you can pick up.
Yeah, that is really nice.
I've just got sort of properly into Fort Joy, and I've done a couple of missions there. I seem to have a full team of 4 now.
Yep.
I don't know if there's more than 4 people to choose from, but I have 4.
You do have 4?
I've picked 4 randoms. I've let them do the default thing that they want to do.
Yeah.
I seem to have 2 hitty people and 2 magicy people.
Yeah.
That seems like a good combo.
You've been going around doing your quest. There was one this morning where you're trying to talk to someone. They were like, "Get away, you cannibal!" And then you let one of your other party members go, and they're like, "Oh, hello! Please save me!"
Get away, cannibal! I'm not talking to you either, other character. Oh, you I'll talk to. I'm literally a walking skeleton.
was this the skeleton that was like, usually when I rip people's faces off?
Yeah, the skeleton that we found initially trying to rip the face off somebody.
Yeah, it's like, I want to have a face.
I need a mask.
And they're not using the face right now.
Right.
Because
I've gone all
can I
floppy.
have a face?
What if I had a little face as a treat?
I like the writing in this game.
It's quite funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has a good sense of humour. I find the narrator quite amusing.
Yes.
I feel a little bit bad that I was just like, fuck everyone else on this boat. I've just spent 10 minutes getting out of here, and the prompts seem to be implying that it would be a bad idea to go back. And now I've washed up, and everyone's like, "You the fucker on the boat?" Pissed off. It's like, I'm very sorry about leaving you all to die.
Well, I mean, I saw a route to safety.
I saw a route to safety, and then I looked at the Steam achievements, and it was like, you made it to shore without being destroyed by the Kraken. Only 86% of people have done this. It's like, well, I feel like that's a bonus.
Yeah?
Maybe I did the right thing. Maybe I was supposed to get eaten by the Kraken.
Is there really any right and wrong in a world of Krakens?
Tentacle love is the only right. No, I'm
I mean, you have a right to tentacle love.
please. Well, if the tentacles are consenting. If they are consenticles, as it were.
As it
Yeah,
were.
I'm enjoying it. I picked a magic user and wound up in a world where magic users are not very popular, apparently, and apparently God's dead, maybe, or something. Maybe I should have played the first one, I don't know.
I jumped in with the second, and it gave enough explanation as it went to go like, oh, I see what's up.
I kind of like that stories like that where you jump into a world and it's like, the world exists and you're in it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I guess I'll just work it out as I go along.
Yeah. Goodness.
Yeah, and we'll come back to that exact thought later on in the show.
Oh, will we now?
Well,
What about
you? What have you been playing?
I can talk about a thing I've been playing by myself this week.
I've been watching.
I've been playing Ori and the Blind Forest. I've been continuing to make progress in that. So I need to hurry up and get through that game because apparently it takes like 8 hours to complete, and I'm 9 hours in, and I'm only just starting the third of the 3 environments. I've been playing a bit slow, but yeah, I still think that Ori and the Blind Forest is a beautiful sort of challenging platformer meets Metroid style game. My biggest complaints with it are that a lot of the maneuverability tools that make it a rewarding, difficult platformer are rationed out over time as, say, your like Metroid upgrades. And the problem there is that the game is really not fun until you start getting a lot of those. Like, I kind of wish it had given more of the tool set earlier on, so that, like, things like the double jump, the dash, some basic abilities that allow you to course correct slightly. It loves to have very, very, very thin platforms where if you slightly misland, you die. And I still feel a bit weird about its checkpointing system. I understand that for people who play this game multiple times through and who really love it, being able to set your checkpoints exactly where you want them, that's great, that's wonderful. In theory, a great ability. But as I said last week, I think, it's limited by resources you find through the map, and on a first playthrough you're going to have no idea if something far, far tougher is just around the corner that you really should have saved your checkpoint for. And it leads to countless points in this first playthrough where I'll have reached an area and gone, I've got 0 checkpointing crystals. And I'll complete, like, if I was designing this game for traditional checkpointing, I can see like 3 or 4 places where I'm like, yeah, there would have been a checkpoint there because that's the end of a segment. That would have been a checkpoint. That would have been a checkpoint. And because I don't have any checkpoints to activate, I'm like, I have to do all 3 or 4 of these challenging bits back to back, repeatedly doing sections I can do already and that I'm like not failing at any time. I keep doing it right just to get to the bit that I'm actually struggling with. And I think that's been the thing that's frustrated me. And I believe the sequel is out this week, so when I finally finish playing this, I will get around and play the sequel.
This week will.
Everything I have heard about the sequel, the main thing I heard is, hey, they made it so there are just sensible checkpoints wherever checkpoints should probably be, and that is the main thing I needed to hear. Narratively, it feels a little sort of hit you over the head. I feel like the game is at its best when it's wordlessly telling a story through the animation of its characters and the way they interact with the world and the environments you're travelling through and letting it organically tell the story as you go. I think when it stops to have a narrator go, and then this happened, and this was this character's motivation, and here is what they were feeling, and this is what was going on, it just really fucking halts the... The narrative feels like it would have been much stronger if it had been exclusively shown and left to interpretation rather than spelling out every narrative beat as it happened. I think this is a situation where less would have been more. But I'm still finding it fascinating. I have too many abilities and I keep forgetting that I can do certain things. I keep forgetting that I have a parachute I can sort of hold to slow my fall. And I keep forgetting that certain enemy types that don't shoot projectiles, I can do a thing that I usually use for projectiles, I can do on this other type of enemy. And that's an important thing that I keep forgetting and hitting roadblocks. But I'm getting there. It is a difficult game that I am making my way through.
Make my way through the game.
Last I looked, I believe I've played about 12 hours, I think, because I've done 4 streams. Probably closer to 10, because there's probably a few hours of stopping to chat with chat and stuff over those 4 streams. But
good to chat with chat.
I've died like 800-900 times. Wow. Yeah, I died a lot.
So it's Sans level difficult.
It's the Sans number of deaths spread across the whole game rather than just one boss fight, but...
Well, that seems more satisfactory.
Yeah, here's the thing. I keep comparing it to Celeste, which was like the last time I played like a really tough platformer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the reasons that like Celeste felt so much more satisfying mechanically was, I would argue Celeste was a more challenging platformer, but it was so much better with its checkpointing. Every challenge you had was, here is a screen. You at worst have to get from one side of the screen to the other and through a door, and then you're checkpointed. Every single screen is checkpoint.
Yeah,
you made it
doesn't
through.
waste your time.
Yeah, there's no need to backtrack.
And the controls are tight as a vice.
Exactly. The controls are precise. They're like not floaty. I always felt in control of the character, and I never got thrown back further than the current thing that is killing me. And that made such a difference.
And the other thing I find with things like that is you can get like a muscle memory for that specific thing, rather than like in the old days of punishing platformers, it would be, oh, you don't done this thing, go back to the beginning of the game.
Yes.
Now you've got to play all the way through that, and if you're anything like me, you will start to get frustrated and start dying earlier and earlier and earlier and earlier, and eventually you just go, fuck
this is the thing. The more times you have to repeat a thing you've already done correctly, the more you start failing on it because you rush, because you're like, I can fucking do this, why should I have to do this? I shouldn't have to fucking do this. Oh, I'm dying.
Yeah.
And
And then the game stops being fun.
Yeah, so it's not... I'm still enjoying it. I intend to finish playing it. I'm taking a bit of a break from it because as when we record this, tomorrow the Roller Champions Alpha goes live, which is that roller derby Ubisoft game that's getting like a week and a half demo.
I'm super looking forward to that.
Yeah, remind me, I will give you a code for that.
Awesome.
Because I got given 5 codes for it. Because yay! So yeah, that's going to be my streaming time for the next little while. Ori, I don't love you enough to forsake time.
You're not
with
roller derby.
You're not a roller derby video game. You can just go sit in the corner for a week. Yeah. What about you? Have you played anything else this week?
We played a thing together.
We did. Do you want to tell us about what we played together?
We played the first scenario of the base campaign of the Arkham Horror living card game.
Yes, which is different from other Arkham horror games people might have heard of.
Yeah.
Do you want to get into that whole thing?
So I'd heard that there was an Arkham Horror board game, and I'd heard that it was complicated.
Yeah.
And I'd heard that the Arkham Horror card game was like a simplified version of that.
Yeah.
What I only heard recently was actually between that and the card game there is Eldritch Horror, which is a cut-down version of the original Arkham Horror card game.
Yeah.
So we sat and watched like a 20-minute explanation. I think it was like a 40-minute explanation. We watched 20 minutes and we just sat there going, what the fuck?
So there was the board game, then they simplified it to the other board game, and it was still too complicated, so they simplified it to the living card game, which is still quite complicated.
It's still quite complicated, but like, oh my goodness,
Yeah,
I'm so glad we didn't...
Yeah, we watched a video of the original board game, and it took the presenter, who was like, they were very clear and concise and moving snappy through it.
Oh yeah.
It took them 25 minutes to explain what each of the like 30 piles of cards on the table were to do with, to say what the 12 possible actions on a turn are, and the 5 stages of a turn. This isn't like, he didn't even get to the bit where he goes, now I'll show you an example round so you get a feel of it.
Yeah.
No, it was 25 minutes to list. Okay, well, this is the section of the board for if you get knocked out of time and space, and here's the... and that was the bit that
got me, yeah.
Yeah. If you get knocked out of time and space, you move to this bit of the board.
If you happen to be somewhere other than here on the board, like outside of time and space, and I was like, what? I mean, sure, but also, huh?
Yeah. It was 25 minutes simply to list, here's what's in the box, and, like, what a turn consists of.
Yeah, and I thought I'd struggled with setting up, like, the card game, because I was like, okay, there's a lot of instructions here. Like, I've got 3 instruction books and several piles of cards.
Yeah.
And I totally get it now. Now that it's been explained,
It
I
makes
just
sense
totally
now.
get it, 100%.
Yeah. Do you want to explain the card game, then?
So basically, you build... In the base set, you get enough to build 2 decks.
Yep.
You have different, I think 5 different characters in the base set. and they have a specific, like a class.
And they have like a default starter deck.
It's like, this character can use these cards and these cards, and this character can use these cards and these cards. Cool? Okay, bye. And, like, then you can upgrade those decks later on.
It's a narrative campaign where, depending on how you do, you earn experience points that you can use to purchase new cards for your deck. And the general concept, at least in this first campaign we did, was...
Well, first scenario.
Yeah, first scenario was you're in your house and things are starting to go real fucking spooky.
Door's missing to your study. You're locked in.
Yeah, so you gotta find some clues, fight some monsters, explore other rooms in the house, fight more things, find more clues.
Barrier.
Lots of things will try and kill you. Collect a NPC maybe to help you out.
Try not to completely lose your mind.
You've got health and sanity meters that you're trying to keep down, otherwise you take permanent damage to those stats that persist through the campaign. Yeah, and the whole time there's this sort of doom system that's ticking up counters and things get worse and worse and worse for you. And if you get to the last stage of that, things get bad real fast.
Yep, and like there's no way really to lose the campaign.
It's
because you can just pick another character and go into the next scenario.
Yeah,
but
it's branching, and there's branching endings as well, depending on like do you get through with both your characters alive? If you do get to the end alive, which of these choices do you make? And you have to mark down, like, this is what I did, and...
Do you just flee from the house, full stop?
Yeah.
And then, like...
Yeah, you just run away without finishing the mission.
Yeah, did you die during the mission? Okay, well, that's a problem, because now you will start with... did you become incapacitated, is the...
Yeah,
the correct thing. Did you become incapacitated, you now have permanently one less health for the rest of the campaign.
Or one less sanity if that ticks up to the top. Which means that, like, you're more likely to get knocked out before the end of the next campaign.
Yes.
Yeah. Even we played on, like, the easier of the two difficulties, and it was still... We were up against that clock.
I don't know how we managed to draw -4 from the Chaos bag.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get to this in a minute. There's, like, I think 10 to 12 different tokens in this bag. We managed to pull out exactly the same one somewhere in the region of 8 or 9 times.
There's only one of in the bag.
Yeah.
And we were, like, shuffling the bag up so well.
And Stuart's like, -4 again. We're being haunted by -4.
Yeah. So the system for how skill checks are done is your character has its own... base stats for certain things, so it's like intelligence,
force, will, I think is one of them.
Basically, like how good's your brain, how good's your book smarts, your investigation skills,
and how good at running away.
Yeah, exactly. And you can augment them using cards in your deck that you can equip for various resources. And whenever you go up against like a skill check to try and find a clue, or I want to punch an enemy, or I want to run away. You know what the enemies, or what the stat is you have to beat, and you know what your stat is. The thing that complicates it is the bag of potentially bad things that could happen, where you draw... It's like, okay, well, my score is a 4, and I have to pass a 3, so that's fine, I can win. Oh no, I have to draw a thing out the bag, which could be 0, I might still have 4. Could be a -1, that'll still be fine, I'll be 3 and 3, we'll match.
Could be a -4, could be a -X for however many ghoul enemies
could
there
be
are
an
at
automatic
your
fail.
Yep.
If you're very lucky, there's that good one in there that can do nice things.
Yep. Well, there's also a +1 in there.
Yeah, there is a +1, but usually it's how lucky am I feeling that, like, I won't pull a really bad number out and fail this check. Like, you might be like, I have a 4 and I need to pass a 3. Let's just add a few extra points on mine just in case.
Just a few
can I get myself up to like a 7 so I've got like a 4-point clearance before I try this check?
Just to be sure.
Just to be sure.
Yeah, it's a really fun game and I'm desperate to play more of it. I've been looking online at like custom fan-made print and play scenarios.
Yeah.
Some of them are apparently quite well regarded by the community, so thinking I might pop down to local print shop at some point and get a set of, like, a full set of another campaign.
I'm very into playing more of this. I think the day that this goes up, we're probably going to play the second campaign.
Yes, the day that this goes up. Yes.
Sorry.
Yes, sorry. I was like, what? Yes, we
Yes,
are.
Sunday. I think we're probably going to play some more.
Gosh, we'll have so many games to talk about next week.
Won't we just? But yeah, the first one seemed really well paced. We played that first campaign twice, just because the first one we were very much getting our heads around how the mechanics worked.
Yeah.
And both times, like, it was paced pretty well, so that we either finished it one turn before the Doom counter reached its scary final stage, or on the turn that it hit its final stage. So, like, we were pretty well paced that we were getting through at the sort of speed that the bad things were just about to happen.
I would be interested to see what it's like with other characters.
Yeah.
Because we've played with the sort of standard basic, like, the ones they recommend for, like, new players.
Yeah. You're very good at punching, and I'm very good at thinking and running away.
Yeah. Which are important skills in this game and very
Yeah.
complementary. But, like, it'd be interesting to see, like, hey, here are these two other characters. These ones are very good at thinky and book smart things, but not good at punchy and running away.
Yeah.
And those are the two skills you really need to fight evil.
I mean, yeah.
So I don't know, like, what their other things are, but there is definitely a replayability aspect there.
I imagine if you had, like, the brain and the book, you could probably, like, clear out all your clues real fucking fast and, like, be like, no, we're just not messing around. We're just going to get it done before anything spawns.
Run!
Yeah. If anything does spawn, we're fucked, but, you know, until then, let's just go, get everything all sorted. Go.
I mean, I guess. I'm also interested to see, like, how the leveling up stuff is going to help us. Like,
Yes.
it was nice to sort of go, hey, here is, like, an amount of XP that you've made for completing the game in this way.
Yeah.
Go look through the rest of the deck and look at, like, there are just pips on the tops of the card. It's
Yeah.
like, however many pips, that's how much experience you need to spend to add this
Yeah,
to your deck.
we had enough that we each got, like, 3 or 4 new cards for our deck, I think. Did we both get 3?
I got 3.
Yeah, I got 3 as well. We each added 3 new cards to our deck that we're quite happy with.
Yep.
And yeah, it feels like there's some room in this game to grow.
Yeah, I've been looking at the expansion, like the official expansion stuff as well.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So there's like a deluxe box, which is about the same, or maybe like 2/3 the price of the base game,
Yeah.
which comes with like a bunch of stuff and 2 more scenarios towards the campaign. And then there are Mythos packs. And each one of those deluxe expansions has 6 Mythos packs.
Yeah.
And they're about... I think new they were probably around closer to 20 quid, but you can get most of them, like the original, certainly from like the first set, for about up to about 15-16 pounds now. And it's like, I think total this works out to about 110 quid for everything you would need to get through that particular campaign. But apparently those campaigns are like a lot more in depth. They'd have to be with that many scenarios.
Yeah.
And apparently the writing is absolutely incredible.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe.
we'll
Work up to
we'll
that.
see how much replay value we get out of this and how we get on with the sort of fan-made additional scenarios. And we'll see if this turns out to be one that we really, really fucking love. Maybe,
Well, the other thing is it's got a single player.
yes.
So I might do some streaming.
Good luck. That seems like it would be deadly, single player.
I mean, it scales appropriately, I guess, because you would have... A lot of the stuff is per investigator. So if there's only one investigator, you only have to find, like, as many clues as you do for that room.
So, you are correct, but also, you would only have one set of skills, so you wouldn't have anything to back up, like, the skills you're lacking in.
True.
Which is going to be fun.
Definitely only playing that one on easy.
Yeah, your first upgrade for your deck be like, right, what are the things that I'm shit at? Let's get some cards for that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be really interesting to see how that goes.
Yeah. I think you would definitely build to level your character out in single player rather than I'm going to super increase my one good thing. Well, that's my gut feeling anyway.
Yeah, like, I feel like you might end up getting through characters a bit. Like,
Yeah.
not everyone will get leveled up. It's just like, okay, that person's dead. Sorry. Having to move into the character. And the campaigns seem to add extra characters. I think there's like 5 or so per campaign. And like a bunch of extra stuff. And then, like, once you've got those, technically you can use locations and creatures and things and just make your own stuff.
Yeah.
There must be people who've homebrewed
I imagine
out
so.
of what exists in the box rather than here is a print and play idea.
Yeah.
Artwork for the print and play is very impressive as well, I found.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. What about you? Have you played anything else?
I think that's the main stuff I've played. I've been playing something else, but can't really talk about it yet. So next week I'll have something to talk about.
Well then,
Time for this.
Do you have a hard time remembering to eat?
I mean, the time just flies by.
Do you struggle to remember to look after yourself by washing or going to bed on time?
There's so many other things I should be doing.
How would you like a sitter?
Tell me more.
Sitters are essentially babysitters for adults. They'll come around, make sure you eat, drink, have a bath, and go to bed on time. There might even be snackies and a bedtime story. They might even tuck you in. Sitters. Because adult responsibility is really hard, especially if you're really easily distracted or overworked. Thanks, capitalism.
Oh, my head. Oh, I can't think. It feels like my head's in a vice. Oh, brain cells. Hello, brain cells.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hi, brain cells.
Hey!
Yeah, you're having a party again, huh?
Smashing time, yeah?
I'm sure it is. I don't want to harsh anyone's vibe. It's a great party. But like, could we turn the music down by like 10%, please?
How about you just get some earplugs and we just party?
I mean, you're literally inside my skull. Earplugs aren't going to help. You're not outside my head. Like,
join us.
Could you at least put some eggshells on cardboard egg boxes on the walls?
It's not gonna help.
That should soundproof.
Party!
Oh.
What's it? No, they're ibuprofen. No. So, Laura,
Yes?
what have you put in your eyes?
Honestly, this week's just been continuing to like watch the new episodes of things we're watching.
Mm-hmm.
We continued with Picard this week.
Mm-hmm.
That continues to be real fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the things that have been set up in that first half of the season are really paying off right now. I am really fucking enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm enjoying seeing all the things unravel, and it's weird to think we only have like 3 episodes left and the season's done.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on and a lot to go on.
Mm.
I like that we got to see some characters back again as well.
We did?
Yeah,
It
and
was
their
very sweet.
characterization was fascinating.
Yes.
What about you?
Well, we watched a bunch more DS9. I think we're heading towards the end of season 3.
Yeah, we're nearly at season 4. We've not hit it yet because we still have the original theme tune, and I'm pretty sure the second one is season 4.
Yeah, I think someone on Twitter the other day was saying that it changes around
I
season
think it was
4.
H-Bomber guy that was mentioning it the other day.
Probably, maybe someone on the internet.
Someone on the internet mentioned season 4.
Yeah. And the only other thing we really watched is we watched a couple of extra episodes from Steven Universe's Future.
Yeah, we finally got some more episodes of that. There's only 2 left, I think. 2 or 4 episodes. It's right down to the wire. A couple of weeks left.
Yeah.
They're really hammering home with that whole Steven's mental health problems season.
Yeah, mental health problems, and like I was thinking about this afternoon about how like I too have been in a situation where I've been like, I've been fighting for this thing and fighting for this thing for a very long time, and now that thing isn't there for me to fight for anymore, and I kind of feel a bit lost.
Yeah. So I think it's fair to say I suspect you maybe have the same one of those as me, which is the fighting
through the NHS,
through the NHS through the trans medical pipeline. There is this feeling that when you've been like you've had one goal that's been like the end goal you've been working towards for ages.
Yes.
There's this weird feeling of what now?
What am I now? I think because of like the time it takes and the stress and stuff, it kind of becomes just everything.
Yes, and it's a stressful thing that was going on, and you're there. It's out there like I should be relieved that it stopped.
Yeah.
But also,
my
no.
whole identity has been tied up in this.
This thing that was a very big part of my life has just gone, and what do I fill that space with?
It's been all I've been able to think about for years and years and years, perhaps all of my life.
Yeah,
and now...
Yeah, Stephen's journey has very much been that.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of, time to unpack all the trauma I've accumulated over years of having to grow up way too fast, being a child with all these adult responsibilities on my head. Oops. What was the tweet I saw the other day? I saw someone tweet something that felt very applicable to Steven Universe, which is it's like, if you were told by adults when you were growing up, you're so mature for your age. No, that's just trauma happening. that's trauma you're gonna have to deal with later, child.
The one I liked recently was the if people told you you're an old soul as a kid.
Oh god, yeah.
That means you're really real fucked up, huh?
It's like, hey, you got some real fucking depression packed in there, okay?
How's that depression coming along? Because it looks like it's going pretty fucking big, huh? Yeah.
But like, I think I of the 2 episodes we saw, I really liked the one that was the Stephen heavy. How do I deal with the fact that I feel like if I don't do things for people, they're going to leave if I'm not useful to them. Friendships based around being useful. Offering to do things that you really don't have the time or energy or resources to do, but I've got to do it or they won't want them as a friend.
Yup.
That show's real fucking relatable, huh?
So relatable.
Then we got that nice roller skating episode. That was a sweet one.
That was a sweet one.
I was not anticipating the shipping that got implied. I am curious if that will develop.
I liked how they each had one roller skate at the end.
Yeah,
that was quite adorable.
I like that we got to see some characters having friends outside of some human friends outside of the group that we know. That was nice.
Yeah.
I think that's all I've watched really, other than catching up on more My Hero Academia and Haikyuu.
How's that going?
I mean, both of them I'm really enjoying right now. My Hero Academia has basically just gotten to a bit of a here's a light-hearted the downtime couple of episodes, but like in the background of them, it's like, the end of this happy downtime arc is where it's going to get serious again. They've already started going like, this villain will show up at the end of the downtime. The downtime's not going to be totally happy, but it's happy now. And Haikyuu just continues to be, hey, now that we've gone and done our solo practice and come back together and got back to working as a team, let's try practicing against one of the other teams and see if we can put what we've learnt into practice and show how all the characters have developed before we head off to the national tournament. I like my animals.
Animals.
My animals.
Animals.
My animals.
Animals?
Yeah.
You are animals.
Yes, much.
You can pet the animals.
You can pet the animals.
You can pet the animals.
I think that's everything I've watched. What about you?
I've been... Because of something that's going to come up in Listened in a bit, I've been getting lots of SCP animation videos.
Oh, yes.
So the one I watched from SCP Animated Tales from the Foundation, I guess. Yeah, Tales from the Foundation. I watched Life in the Endless IKEA, SCP-3008.
So, for anyone who doesn't know about SCP, this is basically weird, mysterious objects and or places.
Creepypasta on the internet.
Yeah.
What if it was all connected?
Yes. What if there were a bunch of mysterious... Like, basically anyone can write their own fan fiction about mysterious object or mysterious place. But then, what if they were all connected as one big thing?
What was that 90s show? Is it Warehouse 13 or something?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I never watched that show, but I get the impression it's like, here is the weird place where we collect all the weird shit. Yeah. But it's owned by the government, and many of these things will literally kill you.
Yes. This is very much like people write first-hand accounts as if they are real things that they experience. Yeah. But it's all just kind of like first-person writing prompts.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I work in this thing, and today I assessed SCP blah 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 blah, and it's a sentient teddy bear, and it can move around on its own. Not to be mistaken for that +1, which is an evil one, and if you blink, it will kill you. There's the thing that's made of literally made of concrete.
Yeah.
That if you blink or close your eyes or no one's looking at it, it will move and literally just butcher you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I think was in one of the games. There was a whole blink mechanic in that. So this was about an this IKEA where the staff are trying to kill you. What else did I watch? I watched SCP Sedition, 2 sort of interview style animations with SCP-035 on Tats Top Videos.
Yeah.
That was an interesting one. It's like a sentient mask, apparently created by one of the Greek gods. And it literally takes over and destroys its host.
Interesting.
And and it's got like hey, I've lived all this time through history, and they're like, so what's your relation to other SCP? And just this weird sort of masked face on what is clearly some kind of poor prisoner. Like, whatever they did, I don't think they deserve to be liquefied by a thing. Or at one point, it just, like, snaps its host's neck, because it gets annoyed with the interviewer. She's like, what are you going to do about this then, huh? Like, oh, shit. Okay. They were really interesting.
It's a fascinating little fiction genre.
Yeah, I've seen a few sort of SCP things, and I've always rather liked genre. I mean, I like sort of short anthology horror.
Yeah, which is kind of what we'll get to in the listen segment.
Can you guess what it is yet?
Should we head over there?
Have you got anything else?
No, that's about all I've watched.
Well,
really.
then let's head over to the
other bit.
Woo! Hello, got a new sponsor.
Who's our new sponsor?
Well, do you like getting stuff delivered?
I do, as a matter of fact.
Do you like getting stuff delivered when you're at home?
I mean, yeah, it's really useful.
Do you like stuff getting delivered when you're not at home?
That would, I guess, be useful.
Would you like things left in a probably safe place?
How probably safe are we talking?
I mean, you live in a 6-story block of flats, right?
Yeah.
Do you reckon you could get it down off the roof if someone just happened to lob it up there?
No.
Like, if your PlayStation 5 got delivered and they just yeeted it up on the roof.
I don't think I could get it off the roof.
So it's safe?
Technically?
Well, why not head on over to Yodelay?
Oh god, that delivery company.
Yeah.
The yodeling one.
Indeed, you'll have to yodel to get you can be like, I need this to arrange redelivery of this thing because I will not be in at the time that you say that you're going to deliver this. And rather than trying to check a website that probably doesn't work or entering a very long code that you might misspell, you just lean your head out the window and go, yodelay.
I'm never getting my parcel, am I?
No.
Well, at least I'm not getting it at a discount, I guess.
Exactly. You can head over right now to yodelayehoo.co.uk.lol.net and get 35% off maybe getting your package.
If I can get it 30% off the time, then it's probably alright.
There you go. There you go. They're not even paying us for that. We've written you a new catchline. It's probably alright. That's yodelay.lol.net.co.uk, probably. And enter the code QNPS 108, I think.
108? Oh.
Probably something like that. Pretty sure it's 8. Yeah, and you can get a discount.
Nice.
Inside the boardroom of Electronic Actor Softworks.
Hi. How are you doing? I'm fine. I'm good. Yeah.
Definitely not ill. Nope. Same here. Same here.
No. Too rich to get ill.
Too rich. I have other people to get ill for me.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking, with all the people who have been getting ill recently.
Yeah, but it's probably all fake news.
Exactly.
We'll just gather them all together and they can make us money.
Yeah, it's definitely not us. But
yeah.
it has had an interesting effect I've been seeing, and I think it maybe means something for business. So,
Right.
we have E3 coming up.
Yeah. Big show.
Big show.
time.
We were
a lot
gonna,
of money.
Yeah, we were gonna hire up that whole big hall and have all the celebrities on
Yeah.
stage, and it was probably like a quarter of our annual budget was going
Right.
on. And it's important because we need to make
Yeah.
the big adverts.
Gotta hobnob. Gotta get all those industry contacts.
Yeah. So
Gotta make people wait in line until they shit themselves.
I mean, we assume we have to do that, but I think
And
maybe
I really like doing that.
I know, but I think I might have a way for us to save some money
Go
and
on.
still make all the money.
Go on.
So, with that illness that's going around and that's going around, a bunch of companies have been pulling out of E3, and that seems like a bad idea. How are we going to advertise?
They're not allowed to pull out.
Yeah.
That's our advertising.
Yeah. So,
Our networks.
yeah, but here's what I learned. Apparently,
Yeah.
one of our rivals has for a few years now just been not hiring the big hall at huge personal expense, not spending the money,
What?
and just putting the advert on the internet, on the internet.
How's anyone gonna see that?
Apparently, not only do people still watch it, they watch it even more.
So, we don't need the hall.
No.
We don't need all the booth stuff. We don't need all the cutouts and standees. We don't
No.
need to hire like a random adventure playground thing that'll rebrand themselves for a few days.
No. But people will praise it because they will say, you just stuck to announcement, which, we know that's code for, we gave you adverts with no breaks.
Right.
But, they will be happy that they got nothing but the adverts.
Right. But, how do I get to make people wait in line until they shit themselves?
Well, see, we can still just go hey, one game shop in the country, they get a 10-minute demo, here's a 15-hour line to play that demo. We can still make them, and that way, we don't have to hire anywhere, and we can still make a big line where people have to shit themselves in
We don't
queue.
even have to clean up the shit
I
afterwards.
know, it's not even our problem.
You are a fucking genius.
I know.
So, what have you put in your ears?
I've really not put much in my ears this week. It's been
You
a very...
shouldn't put things in your ears. Nothing smaller than your elbow, according to my doctor.
It's been a really busy week with work things that I can't entirely talk about yet, so I've mainly been listening to music that I can sort of have on in the background while I'm working.
Mm-hmm.
I went back to one of my favourite old browser plugins that I love. It is an Animal Crossing music plugin, and the whole thing it does is, based on your local time and date, it will play Animal Crossing music from the most recent 3DS game that is applicable to the time of day of the week, and season you are in, to basically be like, if you logged into Animal Crossing right now, what music would it be playing you?
Huh.
And it just, if you tune in on, Friday night when KK Slider would be playing, it'll play some KK Slider, and... Yeah, it's just... I really like that it's lo-fi music to study to, but that sort of changes with the mood as the day progresses, and, while I'm, getting into that writing headspace, it's nice to have a sense of how time's passing by the music just sort of every now and then ticking over every hour, and I'm like, we've built to this point. Some time has gone. It gives me a good sense of my day.
It's interesting you say that, because one of the things I've been listening to this week is back to mynoise.net.
Oh, yes. What did you find on there?
88 Keys. I don't know if you've listened to this
I
one.
don't know. What is this?
It's basically automatically generated piano music.
Oh.
So there'll be some long notes and some little fast bits, and then there'll be a couple of big sort of chunky chords and maybe some bass in the background. It's this is really interesting, and the fact that it's sort of automatically generated. It's no one will ever listen to this piece of music again.
Oh no, that's almost sad.
But magical.
Yeah.
What about you? Have you listened to anything else?
The only other thing I've been listening to, is, again, while I've been working, I've been listening to a lot of the Persona 5 soundtrack. For reasons. I've been listening to just a lot of that game's background music, and
They ripped off that track from Dice Funk.
Oh my god, there was definitely a moment where that music was playing and you were like, isn't this from Dice Funk? I'm like, yeah, it's from Dice Funk. So yeah, a lot of that music, the music in that game, will have very simple themes that it will revisit in a bunch of different ways. It'll take like one bass track and have like a bunch of different arrangements of it that it sort of cycles through. So if you leave a track playing, it'll sort of be the same track that's playing no matter how long you leave it, but it'll just slightly change and then change back into another version of it, and it makes it very easy to listen to what is essentially the same piece of music for long stretches of time. Which again has been really nice this week. Just music that I can just tune out and sort of have pleasantly in the background. Yeah. What about you? Do you want to talk about the horror thing?
Let's talk about the thing.
Talk about the thing.
Thank you to everybody who has recommended this to me. I was going to get around to it eventually, but like all things, it took for fucking ever. I've started listening to the Magnus Archives.
Oh, yes. I have previously listened to this off of my friend Makita's recommendation.
I think Makita was probably one of the people that recommended it to me as well.
Yeah, Makita's social media is often a lot of Magnus Archives posts.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's one of the people I know. I think Tricky's recommended it to me, possibly Grimmy. Yeah, people have recommended this to me. Usually after listening to the programme. If it isn't the Magnus Archives, no, I haven't had time. And very often I find myself depressed by these things, like, yeah, you did that considerably better than I could have done. And now I feel bad about making anything.
No. I feel like the Magnus Archives has very much been like the new thing that has captured the attention of people who are really into Welcome to Night Vale, but want something just a little spookier.
A little spookier and a little bit easier to dip in and out of, I think.
Yes, a little more self-contained narratives and shorter bursts.
One thing I would say, sort of going into the Magnus Archives, is if you look at it and go, there's 165 episodes, I'm not sure I can manage that. That's fine. But there are a lot of... They're all really independent stories. Every now and again, there will be something to tie it to something else that was casually mentioned at some other point, or very seriously mentioned. Yeah. But that doesn't take away from the fact that this is very specifically this story. Unless you get a two-parter. I've encountered one two-parter so far. And it's like, you know, here is a horrifying thing. Somebody reported or told the story to this person that they had encountered a strange figure standing by an alleyway asking for a cigarette. But they appeared to be floating, and they were sort of weird, or their mouth didn't move, or something like that.
Something unsettling was occurring.
And it is a report that's been sort of usually handwritten, and then is being read by this person.
Yeah.
And they are a very good horror writer, Jonathan Sims, I think it is. Occasionally you will get, like, another character will come in and be like, yes, I'm giving my account directly.
Yeah.
Okay. And they will read that particular story. But it's like, cool, this is, like, really interesting. And sometimes, like, I think the first time I encountered it, it was like, if this is this thing, then this is a cause for concern. It's like, that came with no backstory. No reason that I should know what they were talking about. Just like, there is a wider world.
Yeah. It's that thing we were talking about with Divinity Original Sin 2, where sometimes it feels you're just dropped into a world where it's like, they're not going to always explain what a thing is for my benefit, because they know what it is.
Yes.
And it's scary, and they don't need to go, we are scared because it is that. It's just like, no, it's the
hold the exposition.
No, it's the thing. We know the thing. The thing's bad. Just trust us. The thing's bad.
Mm-hmm. And that sort of Tolkien-esque thing of the world exists. You're
Yes.
going to experience it. You're not going to be told what everything is.
Yeah.
I really like that sort of like, and the first time I was like, oh, this takes a big weight off, because knowing that at any point they could just go blah 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 blah. This is very serious because of something in the world, and you can go, cool. That's taken a lot of pressure off. I can just dip in and out to any episode, and if they go, this thing. This is a name that we should be very seriously concerned about, and go, I don't know who that is. It doesn't matter.
That's the thing that's making me feel a lot more confident that I will get through this than
Night
I
Vale.
feel about like catching back up on Night Vale. Because Night Vale, every time I try, I'm like, I can't just jump in where I was up to. I need to go back from the beginning.
Yep. So I have started from the beginning of Night Vale about 4 times now.
Same.
And it's like, I just want to catch
Honestly,
up.
I know that I will never get back fully into Night Vale and catch up to date on it unless I get back to a point in my life where I have a early in the morning or late at night commute. Honestly, unless I have like 4 or 5 days a week where I have an hour's walk in the dark.
Unless we have fully automated luxury gay space communism,
Yeah.
or I get to retire at some point, I don't think I'm ever going to get to catch up with Welcome to Night Vale. I realise I'm living in a fantasy land.
No,
and
you know,
lots of pixies.
you know what we should do? We should go for that thing in London where we can get infected with the coronavirus and get 2 weeks off, and then just lie and listen to Welcome to Night Vale. 2 weeks is enough. We could probably catch up in 2 weeks.
Between us, that's $7,000 as well. We can pay for the wedding.
I mean, I sincerely looked up their website and was like, I mean, they offer you a TV and internet, and they say on their website, they're like, oh no, we totally get people who just come and remote work while, you know, we work on them in hazmat suits.
Hi.
We can get so much creative work done.
Oh god. Can I bring my graphics tablet? I've got a lot of art to do. And I'm going to need to stream a couple of nights a week.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, say hi to the hazmat team!
I mean, you would get so many fucking Twitch viewers if you were like, oh yeah, streaming so-and-so from the coronavirus tent.
Woo! I'm here, helping them find a cure. This is Dave from Hazmat. This is Janice from Hazmat.
How did I know that it was going to be Dave?
Because it's always Dave.
It's always Dave.
Dave and Janice. They do the things.
Yeah.
And Pat. Don't forget Pat.
Don't forget Pat. So
Pat's
yes,
got a clipboard.
the Magnus Archives, real good so far.
Real good. Really enjoying it.
I'm not as far through it as you, but
yeah, I think I'm like 26 episodes.
I'm like 7 or 8.
30 episodes through.
Oh, I'm like 7 or 8, so I'm a bit behind you, but
Yeah, I've been just chugging through it. It's like every spare 20 minutes I have, it's like, right, I'm gonna. It's also been really good for not looking at my phone
yes,
because I cannot do 2 things at once with the Magnus Archives.
yes,
It's
same.
been really good for. I'm just gonna not do anything. I'm gonna maybe I will look out the window and enjoy the view, but I'm not gonna have anything diverting my attention because my brain won't manage it.
This is the thing, is I need, maybe next week when the big work project I'm doing right now is out the way, maybe I will listen to some more, but I can't multitask the Magnus Archives, and most of my media consumption time is multitasked.
Yep. Same. Same.
The peril and curse of working from home about computers is like, oh, I feel like if I'm watching this, I should be writing about it.
Yeah, it's understandable.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far, and thanks to everyone that's recommended it to me. You did it! I finally got around to watching it.
Yay!
Woo!
Anything else you have put in your ears?
Nope, that's it.
That's it for me as well.
Well then.
Time for this.
Ah.
Hello, come in.
Hi, is this the right place for the interview?
Yes, it is. Hello, come in, sit down.
Right, I saw that it said that there was no experience necessary and that you could give training.
Yes, that's correct. Could you tell me your name first?
Alice Douglas?
That's a little bit too nice of a name. Would you be open to changing it?
What were you thinking of?
I don't know. Something like Agnes the Terrifying off the top of my head.
Sure, wasn't too tied to the family name anyway.
Okay, and the hair colour?
Pink, yeah, I'm a big fan of the pink colour.
How negotiable is the hair colour?
What were you thinking?
Sort of stringy, black, stuck to your features, bit greasy.
Okay, yeah.
And, how old are you?
27? Is that a problem? You did say that, like, there was no experience necessary, age not important, and I feel it would be ageist if you were to bring that up as a problem against me.
It's fine. Okay, so, how's your forlorn moaning? I mean, it's gotta echo a bit more than that, but it's not a bad start. We can work with that.
Okay, how about this?
See, there we go. That's a bit more. That's showing some initiative. That's much more promising.
So, do you think I could really make it as a bug witch?
I think you might have what it takes.
Are you like me? Do you miss the good old days when a part-time job as a fry cook could earn you enough to buy a house, run a car? Back in the days of white picket fences and apple pie and the darkness in the hearts of man.
Cut. We need to keep it more light.
The days of white picket fences and apple pie and a cup of good hot black joe. Before all this millennial nonsense, and back when life was good and PC culture was probably a kind of yogurt. Then maybe Civil 54 is for you. We've created a micro-dimension that is a perfect recreation of the United States, the greatest United States, the United States of 1954. I'm David Lynch. Join me in Civil 54 and let us take you back, way back.
Do you want to know what I want to see more of?
What do you want to see more of?
Brutal Justice Warriors.
Social Justice Warriors.
Yeah.
All right, Larry.
All right, Barry, how you doing?
I'm not too bad, mate. How are you?
I'm all right. I just got back from the shops, buying some essentials.
Yeah, how was it? Managed to avoid flying bricks or cans of beans, was it?
Oh gosh, this was the third time I've been down the shops, and I finally managed to find some loo roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a wild one. Trying to get basic, not huge amounts, just enough that the amount I usually need for a month.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that you've run out, or you have come to that time in the month when it is time to do the monthly shop for toilet rolls.
Yeah,
and I mean I also have spent maybe 3 days trying to get some.
Yeah, you have any luck?
I did eventually get some from the local corner shop, so
Yeah.
at least, we can support local businesses at this time of need. Always a good thing, but at the same time, it is very concerning that, there's no antibacterial soap, there's no hand wash, there's no toilet roll, the pasta's all missing, a lot of the canned goods have all vanished.
Yeah, people are panic buying because
Absolutely.
illness is going round.
Dry goods.
An illness that, by the way, does not make you have diarrhea, so you don't need, mountains of loo roll.
Really? Because I do remember, very early on, seeing, things about
Apparently, no,
diarrhea.
I was reading about it. Apparently, that is not an associated symptom. That was just a thing that some people also had at the same time.
Oh, okay.
But, apparently, you don't need mountains of loo roll.
Well,
Your
no.
regular amount should do.
No, and I mean, the other problem, of course, I suppose, is that, there are people who can't perhaps afford to buy, stockpiling huge amounts, and then they are ending up, struggling, because, it's like, well, that's it, I'm on a low budget, I, can only buy, the 2-roll pack.
Yeah, well, this is it. People who, are on a... poor people who are on a lower budget, maybe people who are on pensions, who are on benefits. Who get
I hear
paid.
this has been very seriously affecting people who use food banks.
Exactly, because the problem is let's say you get your money once a week and you've got enough to, buy that week's loo roll, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But suddenly it's like, well, the only loo roll that's left is one 36-pack, can't afford to do that.
Yep.
But if I don't buy it now, will there be any left next time I come?
Indeed.
It's... This panic buying is basically just people who have excess money going, I'm scared, I'm going to buy everything, and denying it to the people who, need to buy little and often.
Yeah, and well, not just that, I was reading a thing today where, a local hospital was saying that they were finding that people had been stealing the hand sanitizer from around the hospital, which is there to keep their loved ones healthy, I assume.
And also, I can't just say, putting aside the albeit very big issue of panic buyers, hurting people who are economically worse off. The hand soap panic buying in particular is one that I found really mind-boggling, because people, don't you realise, you can buy 1,000 jars of hand soap so that, you bought the whole set in the shop. And sure, you're going to kill germs that are on your hands, but you buying all the hand soap means 100 other people won't be able to buy hand soap, and they will get ill and catch germs and spread them on. You are not, lessening the spread of disease, you are making it worse because you're the only one who gets to wash their hands.
Yeah, and doctors are saying that, those paper masks aren't worth anything because the virus is too small, and a lot of those masks, they're just too porous for this sort of thing.
Exactly.
Might be good for keeping sawdust out of your face if you're doing a little bit of woodworking, but not really going to help you with this.
Also, if you do happen to get the face masks that are actually good for that stuff, what you don't need them as a precautionary measure. What you need them for is people who are sick wear them, and it stops the disease leaving them, as opposed to I'll put a mask on and everyone else that's around will still get ill, but I'll be safe. You should be allocating those resources to the people who are ill, not to the totally healthy sections of the population.
Yeah, and then you've got people who are immunocompromised who are like, well, I can't find the hand gel, the face masks, the antibacterial soap that I medically require.
Exactly. This is not only hurting people who cannot afford to buy their basic necessities as and when they need them right now, but it's also making the spread of disease worse.
Yeah, there's been fist fighting in stores in Australia. I understand that people are scared, but, there are countries that have done this really well. They've kept the public informed. They've talked about exactly what they're doing. They are dealing with sort of people getting off planes in a very particular way. Making sure that everyone is as healthy as they can be. They are places that haven't had panic buying or people stealing hand sanitizers from hospitals, because they're keeping the public well informed and they have a plan.
Yeah.
You've got places like America where Donald Trump is basically going, we'll probably pray it away or something. And apparently even Japan hasn't been good at keeping people well informed about the situations.
Also, can we just say, fuck you to the people who are price gouging, who've bought stuff to sell at, ridiculous markups.
Yeah, people on Facebook Marketplace and a lot of their, local selling places just here's 500 quid for a loo-roll.
Yeah.
You can fuck off, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck you trying to make money out of people's fear and necessity.
Yeah, what we need is people to be well educated, not just terrified.
Yeah.
They need to be properly informed.
Yeah.
And the media does not really do a very good job of that in this country and in most other Murdoch-controlled news corporation countries. I feel I'm going to get a bit more ranty about this, so would you fancy a hug, mate?
Yeah, I could do with a hug.
Yes, Good hug, mate, good hug.
Good hug.
Right, shall I pop the kettle on?
Yeah, have a cup of tea.
Nice.
In the land of infinite strangers.
Indeed, yeah. Well, you can't miss that. So, Laura!
Yes?
Where can we find you on the internet, darling?
Me?
You must have...
Laura K. Buzz in all the places. Laura K. Buzz on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, all of them. LauraKBuzz.com. That's where all the links go. It's where all my written freelance videos and podcast things go.
Mm-hmm.
I did a freelance feature this week for Fandom. The first time I've written for them. I wrote a thing about Animal Crossing and
Are
Asperger's.
you the Fandom menace?
I hope I've not been a menace. I read all of their style guide notes extensively. So yeah, that's a thing you can check out. That's linked on laurakbuzz.com. Patreon.com/LauraKBuzz. That is what makes my living. If you can chuck me $1 a month or more on there, that is what lets me do this. I am on a bunch of podcasty things. I'm on Pixel Squirt, where we talk about video game pornography. I am on Tonal Whiplash. That has come back. It's an interview podcast where I ask alternating serious and silly questions to various guests. We had Tanya DePass on recently, who you might know
awesome.
from their Twitch streaming, or from the fact that they're on an official Dungeons and Dragons podcast by Wizards of the Coast, or because they have a charity called I Need Diverse Games, which is a cool thing that they run. Tanya is one of my favourite people. Go check that out. It's a really lovely conversation we had. Lots of really interesting, like, deep dive stuff that was just really interesting to learn. Also, I'm on Podquisition. We tell you whether your favourite video games are great and or perfect.
They're the tentacle.
Day of the Tentacle, perfect.
Yay.
if it's one you like, it's perfect. Yay. I am also on Dice Funk, which is a Dungeons and Dragons podcast. I'm on seasons 3, 4, 5, 6, and soon season 7. Season 6 is just about to wrap up. I'm real proud of the arc I've had on season 6 of that show. The most recent, not the episode that goes up the same day as this, but the previous week's episode made me cry.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it was good. Our DM did a good emotional gut punch, and I was like, oh, you got my character right in the heart. Yeah, those are the things I do. What about you?
Me?
Yeah.
I do Twitch streaming on twitch.tv/Janiac, where you can watch me playing Magic the Gathering rather badly. There will be, next 2 weeks there'll be no Tuesday streams. Although I suppose at this point there'll be 1 week that there's no Tuesday stream. Because this Tuesday will be happening right now when we're recording, and it won't be going up for another 5 days. Anyway, so there's
Time travel's weird.
time travel. Yeah, but I stream definitely on Thursdays from about 8 p.m. UK time, and I'm not sure what I'm playing at the moment, but there's probably lots of good ideas. I'm also on Twitter and YouTube as Maniac Janiac. I have Patreon. That's Stoned Monkey Radio, and I would super appreciate if you could drop me as little as $1 a month. And if you can't, then maybe your podcast app of choice, give us a review or something, or a like, or share with a friend.
Yeah.
You know, all the things that you do with podcasts that you like.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Click the bell.
I mean, it's going up on your YouTube
I mean,
channel.
I suppose it does. You could click the bell.
If you want to listen to this, you can go over to Laura K. Buzz on YouTube.
Yeah.
If you want to listen to it on SoundCloud or Apple Podcasts, those
Yeah.
are also options.
Oh, I forgot to say, I Twitch stream Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
10 till 1.
Usually 10 p.m. till 1 a.m. UK time. Currently, it's an hour earlier because America changed their time zones. But it's 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific.
Universal Global Time now.
Yeah, so like in 3 weeks we'll shift back to 10 till 1. But goodness, is that everything?
I think so. PayPal.me/JaneMagnet and Redbubble Stoned Monkey Radio. You can get a Spookake t-shirt. Yeah, sing us out, darling. It is spooky.
Yeah. Well, until next time, be a stranger.
I will.